Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala nabiyina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in amma ba'd. Laqad qala Allah Ta'ala fi kitabihil karim, a'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ya ayyuhalladzina amanu taqullaha haqqa tuqatih wa la tamutunna illa wa antum muslimun. Sobat Ilham TV, Mualaf Dunia kali ini berkisah tentang perjalanan spiritual seorang gadis asal Peru yang saat ini tinggal di Kanada. Gadis muda ini menceritakan prosesnya menjadi seorang muslim dengan cara menjawab pertanyaan-pertanyaan yang disampaikan oleh para followernya di Instagram. Mari kita simak video berikut ini.
Okay, so I realized that this video has been so long overdue and I'm so sorry for the wait, but we're finally here to record the video. So I asked you guys to ask me questions on Instagram and I'm going to be replying to you guys in this video. If you don't already know who I am, hello, my name is Flavia. I'm a revert. I reverted back in December 2019 from Christianity to Islam. And yeah, that's a little background. We're just gonna get right into the questions. Okie dokie, so the first question is, why are you hiding your religion from your parents/family? And if you hear footsteps from upstairs, it's my dogs and my dad moving around because we just got into a new house. But anyway, so one of the reasons why I don't want to tell my parents right now is because they're gonna think, like, you know, oh, she's a kid, she doesn't know what she's doing, blah blah blah. And they're not taking me seriously. It's been a couple of months since I've turned 18 and I'm still a kid, in their eyes at least. So they're not gonna take me seriously. Also, another thing is that I don't want to worry them. I know that there's a lot of dangers to being Muslim nowadays, especially showing that you're Muslim as a hijabi. So I really don't want to worry them in that sense. I love to talk about Islam with them. Unfortunately, my mom has a really misinformed view on Islam, especially because of the media. So when I tried to talk to her about wearing the hijab, like, I was so stupid to just tell her, Mom, I wouldn't wear it, blah blah blah. She was like, no, Flavia, please don't do that. And she started crying over the phone, and then she got really angry at me and told me to never speak about the hijab, like, ever again. Alhamdulillah, like, I talked to her about Islam like a couple days ago and she didn't react badly like last time. That's just one of the examples on why I low-key want to keep it from them until I think the time is right, until I'm more educated and I can answer all their questions relating to Islam, because I know that sometimes when it comes to explaining myself, I get nervous, especially in front of my parents when I'm going to tell them, yeah, Mama and Dad, I'm Muslim. Like, that's going to be so nerve-wracking. So when I talk to them, I want to be extra super duper prepared so that I don't look like a noob. Okay, so on to the next question. Do you still have the friends you had before you converted? So yes, I do still have the same friends, but we aren't as close as before. I mean, you could probably imagine why. I'm not in the same lifestyle as I was beforehand, so that means no clubbing, no doing haram stuff, and you know, that's the stuff that they do, and I really don't want to be like around that stuff anymore. One thing that I really love about them is that they were all supportive. Like, none of them, absolutely none of them gave me backlash on my decision. They were all very, like, wowed, and they had so many questions and I answered them as best as I could. And they all congratulated me, and they were very happy and telling me that I looked like I was, like, you know, shining and everything, which, subhanallah, like, I feel like I am. Now, I just talk to mainly, like, Muslim people and, like, you know, people that I share a lifestyle with. Okay, so the second question is, how do you pray without your parents noticing? First, I blockade my entrances. Then I make sure I have notes, and that's why I'm looking. Then I make sure my dad's busy and that he won't need me for a while. And then, yeah, that's basically it. But I've heard so many stories of people's parents, you know, busting into the room and being like, what are you doing? And then they pretend to do, like, yoga or something. But I don't want that to be me. So I just prevent at all costs. Okay, so the next question is, how long after reverting did you start wearing the hijab? So it was like about a year and 4 months after I reverted that I started wearing the hijab. But I did start, like, wearing hoodies and stuff, like, beforehand. Not obviously, like, covering my hair, but I just started to dress more modestly with baggy clothes and everything. And that goes into our next question, which is, bro, this iPad's so heavy to lift up with one hand. What made you decide to wear the hijab? I just dropped my camera, so if I move positions, I'm so sorry. I knew that I was gonna wear the headscarf like eventually, but my original plan was to wear it like after I got married. That wasn't a very good plan because I knew if I told my parents like, you know, I'm gonna start wearing the hijab, I'm getting married, whatever, they were gonna think that my husband was forcing. So that's also kind of what led me to, you know, put it on faster. But also when I started posting TikToks, actually I wasn't wearing the hijab. I don't know if a lot of you guys knew that. I was actually just covering my hair online because I knew that I was eventually gonna wear the headscarf, but I didn't want to delete my TikToks. I told myself, you know, if I'm gonna be documenting my steps and everything, I don't want to have these videos up with my hair. And also a big thing that really pushed me was doing more research and knowing that the hijab was mandatory, because in the beginning I was on the liberal side of TikTok and I was really misled by a lot of information that they were putting out there, and they told me, oh no, that the hijab is, you know, you could choose or not, whatever. I was under the impression that that was the whole deal, but you know, every human has a choice, but at the end of the day, it's your choice whether you want to sin or not. And that's how I explained it to everybody, and I decided not to be sinning anymore because, you know, it accumulates. Not wearing the hijab might not be as major of a sin as, for example, you know, shirk. We should never look at how small a sin is, rather we should look at whom we are disobeying, and that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have to remember that this life is just a test. Like, everything is temporary here, and honestly, if a crazy person decides to take my life away because I wear the hijab, then that's how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala like planned it to be. And that might sound outrageous for some people, but that's just how I think and how I think others should think, because this dunya is not worth it. This dunya isn't worth not pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Oh, number 8 is, what was the most difficult part about reverting, praying and fasting, or something else completely? So I think that for me, the most difficult part about reverting was always feeling like I don't do enough. I'm always feeling like that, and like it really drains your spirit sometimes, and also feeling like you're not doing it correctly. Like, a lot of the times I'll be memorizing a surah and then, I don't know, I just feel like unmotivated because I feel like I'm pronouncing it wrong or something. Okay, so number 9, one thing that was hard to stay away from after you reverted. So I think that the most difficult thing that was really hard to stay away from was eating halal, like non-halal meats, because my family cooks, you know, with like non-halal chicken and everything. It's not even the kosher kind like the Christians should be eating. It's just like the random, like, you know, grocery store-bought organic chicken. So it was really hard for me because I wasn't participating in meals like I usually do with my dad and everything. So that made me feel like really, really bad. And also Christmas and presents and everything, I can't participate in that anymore, so that made me feel so bad. But honestly, since it's just with my dad, I told him, I don't know, he doesn't really like Christmas anyway. Like, since we're just alone here, we don't really celebrate it that much. But if I was back in Peru with like my whole family and we were celebrating Christmas, that would be a whole different scenario. Like, I would feel so bad because my family takes Christmas very seriously. Like, I'm not even kidding, like, it's so serious. It's a special day for our family, so I feel like if I was living there right now, I would feel even worse. Also, when it comes to just going out and stuff with my dad, I go out in a hoodie, so I much rather it be like a colder type of weather, because when my dad is like, you know, trying to come up with like go out with me in the summertime and everything, I am literally about to have a heat stroke when I go outside in the summer with a hoodie on. I can't participate in like hikes or anything with him because that's just gonna be torture for me. Okay, so question number 10. I got a lot of marriage questions, but this is just one of them. At what age would you like to get married? And are you considering getting married anytime soon? The answer is no, I'm not considering getting married anytime soon. I think that after I finish my degree, I'm going to start perhaps looking. I wouldn't mind getting engaged in university, but it's up to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on whether, you know, I find the right person and whatever. So yeah, and on that note, I think we're gonna end off the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to be part of some future Q&As, follow me on Instagram because that's what I'll be posting. And yeah, I don't know how to end this off, but I love you for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Demikianlah kisah mu'alaf seorang gadis asal Peru yang saat ini tinggal di Kanada. Mudah-mudahan yang bersangkutan, gadis mu'alaf ini bisa istiqomah. Dan semoga kita bisa mengambil hikmah dari apa yang beliau sampaikan. Dan terlihat apa yang beliau sampaikan, bagaimana komitmen dari seorang gadis muda ini untuk menerapkan syariat Islam, menjadi mu'alaf, kemudian berkomitmen untuk mengenakan hijab. Karena tahu bahwasanya menutup aurat itu adalah sebuah kewajiban, bukan pilihan. Demikian untuk video kali ini, mudah-mudahan bermanfaat. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.